Welcome back to another amazing episode of Rounds at the Knight's Table. We got nothing to drink. Get the Gatorade out. I'm Jen.
I'm Eric.
And today we're going to talk about Blood Red Sky. This movie directed by Peter Thorwarth, starring Perry Baumeister, Carl Anton Koch. No real names here.
As the only face I recognize is Dominic Purcell. Prison Break, Legends of Tomorrow.
Not Legends of the Hidden Temple.
It's pretty much about a woman who is sick and she's going to New York to get treatment for whatever her sickness is. And her son are flying on the transatlantic flight. The plane gets hijacked. And she has to take action.
Not by Bane.
Let's start with the good. I enjoyed Dominic Purcell in this. I like him in Legends of Tomorrow. He didn't get a lot of lines.
This movie was dubbed, right? So
it's like a German movie or something, and it's got a English dub over.
Yeah, which, man, I have not had great experiences with these. Like, I can read the subtitles. I don't listen. My wife leaves them on anyway, so you could have just gone that route, and it would have been fine. The good for me. The interior of the plane looked nice. I was kind of interested to see where this was going. I thought it was a cool idea. Like, oh, we hijacked this plane. Oh, but we messed up. But with that, we can get into the bad.
Let's do that.
Nonstop. This movie was 2 hours and change. There's like 10 minutes of credits at the end, so it's not really that.
There's a lot of credits.
No Marvel ending.
Nope.
No post-credit. This movie, again, without spoilers currently. I didn't like the dubbing either. The dubbing, again.
The dubbing didn't really line up that well.
For the boy, especially the boy. More than anyone.
The boy was very plain sounding, very basic sounding.
Basic white boy.
The mom was a little bit better.
I guess whoever dubbed that voice was fine.
And Fareed was okay.
That was fine. Like, I understand it is what it is. I took it with a grain of salt. One of the hijackers, who kind of looked like Carson from Queer Eye, was very over the top.
It was like he was trying to be a mixture of Riddler and Joker.
Yeah, and
it didn't work.
And ended up with Jared Leto's Joker. Oh my God, the way stuff unfolded in this movie, it was just not good. This was a recommendation. Listen, it was on the top 10 on Netflix recently. And then also my mother recommended it to me, and she's like, I don't like horror, but this one really got me.
Yeah, got you to go back to sleep.
My mother will fall asleep in any movie.
So I know we're talking about bad, but in part of the good, we actually laughed a lot during this movie.
Let's talk about some spoilers. All right, so she's not sick. She becomes a vampire, demon, I don't know.
She looks like Nosferatu. I didn't really like the way she or any of them looked.
They look to me like the original witches. That's how they look to me with Angelica Houston. I hate when monster movies, they get these jerky motions.
God.
You're overselling it. I don't want to take any credit away because obviously I don't have any movies under my belt. And so it's easy for me. It's easy for me to sit here and say this could have been better with this. And I'm not taking anything away from the director, the actors, and stuff like that. I know that you don't seek out to make a bad movie. I understand that. And so I applaud you for the effort. But with that, I've got to be honest. I can't sit here and fluff you up.
We're here to critique.
I didn't think that it looked that bad.
I didn't really see 2 bits of bad CGI in this movie. One of those bits is at the very end when she's like running towards the boy. Shot from behind her, and you can tell it's obviously CG'd and it's not very good.
The guy, I guess, ends up becoming the main villain. So he takes her blood and injects himself with it so he can turn. Because, of course, why not? Why not do that?
Yeah.
Everyone on this plane gets fucking infected at some point.
Except technically Fareed. She cut his hand off.
He got bit. Oh, you bit me. And then he's like fine. Like, you lost a hand, bro. You shouldn't just be walking around. We're not at that point yet.
Okay.
And then the son's not infected.
He should have been like 10.
There was a more interesting story here, and it was flashback.
She leave him for 2 hours.
Yeah, she left.
Your baby's been crying for 2 hours. Is he okay?
The baby's home by itself. What do you think? What is it doing home by itself? Fucking Germans. Her and her husband and the baby get stranded. And this was the
on like a snowy night.
I didn't talk about this in the good because it might have been a spoiler. The husband doesn't come back, and she takes the baby, going look for him, finds blood. A blood trail, follows the blood trail
in this abandoned house.
Yep, and finds the body, and then the guy's there. No, these things don't have like superhuman strength.
I mean, he didn't at the door.
And did you see that door was paper thin? It was like made out of Reynolds. They suspect this guy Fareed, or whatever country's military this is, because they're racist. And he's in the cockpit, and they got him like in his sights.
It gets to about sunset, and these things aren't supposed to be in the sunlight, obviously. They're vampires. And they won't let Fareed off, even though he's telling them, I was set up. I didn't do this. Let me go. So he just jumps out of the way of the window. They try to shoot him. They don't. They come onto the plane and get him, take him off.
Mind you, he's been bitten. His hand has been cut off to stop it from spreading. And then they cuff him. They cuffed him. How?
I had to do a double take, and I'm like, what did they cuff?
Now there's explosives on the plane. The son has the detonator in his teddy bear. He realizes that the evil will not. You can't subdue it. His mother comes down and she starts charging at him. He pulls the phone out and blows up the plane and goes. I mean, that's.
He instantly gets blown back as soon as he presses the button. Like the flames or nothing.
Before it even hits the mom. So he lives. Fareed's got to take care of him. That happens, and he's like, "Hey, he's with me." So the military police stop.
They
let
stop
him
the
off.
truck and let him go.
This movie's got a 6.1 on IMDb. This movie's got a 43 on Metacritic, and an 84. An 84 on Rotten Tomatoes. On Tomatoes, an 84. At one point, the villain vampire, I understand they don't have the budget for them to fly and come jumping at you. This dude parkours off the side of the wall. There's a little dip and jumps on somebody and bites them. Oh my god. This movie was so bad. We watched The Green Knight earlier. He hated it. I didn't think it was going to get any worse for him.
I will say that this movie sucked. I'm going to go with an old score here and give it a flat 3.
These are your worst scores ever.
Well, what have you got us watching?
Listen, this was recommended by my mother. Take it up with her.
Enough said. What's your score?
I gotta go with a 2.6. I just did not like this movie at all. I paused it and was like, oh my god.
Exactly halfway.
There's still another half to this movie. I don't recommend it. But if you want to watch it, feel free. We want to know what you think of this movie. Somebody's watched it because it was in the top 10. And the scores. Hit that like. Hit that subscribe. See you next time on Rounds. Night's Table.